So this is Cidercade over in Houston, Texas. This is a pretty massive arcade, so this is going to be a bit of a longer video than normal. But I wanted to document this place because it's got a lot of really unique and cool games that you don't see too often. Although there is a little bit of a caveat, which I'll talk about later. But I'm going to do my best to go around and show you guys everything and kind of go over a few of the issues that I ran into with this place. This is a free play arcade, so you pay an entry fee. It's like 20 bucks, and you get to play, and all the games are on free play. This store does have a row of pinballs, and I'll kind of go through these little one by one. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get close-ups of all of them just because there's a lot of people playing them. We got a Metallica remaster. I played a couple games of this one. It plays pretty decent, but it's not online, so it's out of date currently. The code is not where it should be. We got a Jurassic Park Pro. This one is online. All the games played pretty decent. Some of the flippers were a little weak, although a few of the games aren't leveled very well, so they're kind of leaning to the left or leaning to the right. They're also set up kind of shallow, so the ball is a little more floaty than you might be used to. We've got a Wheel of Fortune here. I haven't played this one on location in a really long time, but as you can see, a lot of the games are pretty clean, pretty well kept. I didn't have any issues with the flippers. You can see how many plays this one has had. This is the worst shooter lane I think I've ever seen. It's kind of nuts. But it looks like it was pretty well kept. Got a Foo Fighters Premium. You can see, I've seen a couple Foo Fighter Premiums, in the wild lately. This is, you kind of know my opinions about this game. It's alright. It's got some issues with the code, in my opinion, but, when the shots work, the shots work. So here's a really cool one, Heavy Metal. They didn't make too many of these games, but it's basically just a Star Wars Home Edition repackage. It was designed by George Gomez. It's got a lot of really cool shots, but the game itself is pretty shallow. I think they only made about 200 of these, so it's really cool to see this on location, let alone being able to play it. Got an Uncanny X-Men LE, and I'll tell you, this is one of my first times actually seeing an LE in person of any stern, and I can definitely see why people spring for these. The powder coating on it is beautiful, the mirrored back glass looks amazing, the light package that comes with it is really, really cool. You can see the powder coating here on this one. Got a Deadpool Pro. This is one of those games you don't really need the premium on, so I understand going with a Pro. A Beatles Gold Edition. This actually has Insider Connected on it. I played a few games. The upper flipper is a little weak, so didn't really get too many loops going. Another Cactus Canyon remake. Got a Stranger Things Pro. John Wick Pro. And if you ever come here, I'd recommend playing this one. The Premium or the LE on the other side has an issue with the case, so you can't start modes, which is a bit unfortunate. Got a TNMT Pro. Unfortunately, this is one that hasn't been taken very well care of. You can see the flipper rubber broke off there, so the game is currently not playable. Some of these games have some QR codes on them that let you report issues. Got an Elvira House of Horrors and Avengers Pro, which again is a bit unfortunate. I really think you need the premium on the Avengers. Got a Black Knight Pro. This is another one of those games you don't really need the premium on. So here's the John Wick LE. I played a game of this. The flippers are really good. It's leveled pretty decently, but unfortunately the case here doesn't register no matter how hard you hit it, so you can't get into any modes. Kind of defeats the purpose of the game, unfortunately. Got a Star Wars Premium, an Iron Maiden Pro, which is broken right now. Not too sure what the problem is, but hey. Got a Venom Premium. It's cool to see a premium on location. Then we got a Led Zeppelin LE. This is an interesting one for an LE. This one didn't sell too well, but Pretty fun game, you know, one of Steve Ritchie's last games, but you could kind of tell he was checked out with this game. He was just ready to leave. So on top of all the pinballs, this store also has quite a few redemption-style games, old arcade games. There's a lot of them here. There's some duplicates, but they all seem to be running different software. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but for the most part, from the games that I played, they all played pretty decent. There's a couple games here that you don't see too often. I'll have to swing around and show you a game that's pretty cool. Hang on 1 sec. This place is pretty popular. It's quite busy, even for a Sunday. Over in the back, they got a couple of basketball games, skee-ball games, stuff like that. Got the non-motion version of Asphalt 9. If you've ever been to a round one, all the round ones have the motion edition. Hang on, I gotta stop here. So yeah, with it being pretty busy and this being a free play arcade, there's lots of lines for the games, which kind of causes some congestion in the aisles. But you know, most of the games, as I said earlier, are in decent shape. Again, for it being a free play arcade and with how busy it is. So I definitely give them props for that. Got some super bikes. There's a Pump It Up back there. Got some Fast and Furious. And I'm not really into these games, but hey. Aliens. It's a Nicktoons Racing. I remember seeing these at a lot of like malls back in the day. An original Tron. I'm really not too sure what this is. So this is cool. A 720. I've only ever seen a 720 at Galloping Ghost, which I have yet to do a tour of, but I'm hoping to do one pretty soon. Got a new Pump It Up. Got the new edition Pump It Up Phoenix. Of course, got a Mario Kart. Pretty much all of these arcades have got to have a Mario Kart. It's still so popular. So if you're ever running an arcade, definitely get one of these. You'll make tons of money. Got a couple of these arcade clones. I don't know what company makes these, but I've never been a big fan of these. They're just arcade clones of Joust and older games. So here's something cool. A Hello Poppin' Music. I'm not super versed in this game, but I know this cabinet is really rare. Like there's only about like a couple of these, a handful of these cabinets in America, let alone that exist, period. It was kind of a weird spin-off of Poppin' Music that they tried to do back in the day. It didn't do too well, but it's still really cool to see one. I never thought I'd get to see one of these. Got a Darius Burst. This is a really cool game also at Galloping Ghost. It's basically a really long Darius, the modern one. You don't see too many of these because the PCs are all starting to fail, and it's a bit of a pain to repurpose those GPUs if you know anything about Taito Type X2s. I'm not sure what this game is, so I'm not going to comment on it. Got a Waka that's online. Got all the new LEDs in it. You can tell they got the speedy LEDs in there. Miss Pac-Man. Simpsons, a couple other games. Again, I'm not going to go over every game because there's just so much here. It's kind of insane. I do have to admit the inclusion of some redemption games here is kind of weird because you don't win tickets. You don't pay for any of the games. So it's kind of weird, but hey, to each their own. A Wacko. I love this cabinet. It's always kind of funny if you've never seen one of these before. Got a Robotron. I'm actually going to zoom out here just a little bit. Got a Galaga 88, an R-Type. Xenophobe. This is another one of those games you don't see too often. It's kind of cool. have to talk a little bit because there's a Guitar Hero on the other end, and I do not want to get copyright claimed. Got an original Cruisin' World stand-up cabinet. Crystal Castles. I believe this is a bit of a rare one, although you can kind of see the monitors hurting a little bit. Definitely needs a little bit of work. So this place also has some music games. Got a U-Beat running Avenue. I'm not sure specifically which Avenue version, but still pretty cool. I remember seeing these in bars back in the day. This is an old one. Got a Versus Cab running Street Fighter. Play Choice. A lot of these games I don't recognize because I've kind of fallen out of love with these older style games. Got an original House of the Dead stand-up. That's pretty cool. Never seen this before. This looks like it's an imported Final Fantasy game. Not really too sure. I'm sure someone knows more about this. You can let me know in the comments. So here's another 6-player X-Men. I don't know how I keep running into these, but it's still pretty funny. I seem to run into these wherever I go. But it's funny because it's a bit of a rare cabinet. I was always told not many of them survived just because of how big they were, but it seems a lot of them ended up in barcades. Got some more classics. Neo Geo. Ooh, a Gravatar. This is another rare one you don't see too often. That's pretty cool. Looks like the monitor's running pretty well. Got a Stepmaniacs Deluxe. Not sure if it's online, but still pretty cool. A Batman Forever. That's pretty cool too. Again, I'm talking kind of loud because I would like to avoid the potential copyright claim. Rampage, Donkey Kong Jr. And if you want to see everything in detail, unfortunately, you'll have to show up in person. If I went through all of these games, it would take forever, and it's just kind of busy, so I'd like to get out of people's ways. But if you're looking to play, any good classics, pretty much rest assured that they got them here. Now their condition is going to be so-so, but it looks like they do a good job of keeping things clean, replacing buttons, joysticks, especially for it being a free play place. It seems like they do a pretty decent job. After a certain point, there's only so much you can do. Got another U-Beat running Q-Bell, I think? I'm not too sure. I've never been much of a U-Beat player, so I'm a little unfamiliar with those. Got a couple shooting games here. Got a Sound Voltex running Exceeded Gear. I think it's had a monitor replacement. Got a My with, I believe, replaced monitors. I think this is the second elevator action that they have. There's a couple of duplicates around here. Another Robotron. An original Lethal Enforcers. That's kind of cool. I remember there was an arcade that had the third one. I believe it's called Seigi no Hero in Japan. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Just a lot of classics, lots of games. If you're ever in the area, definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. A little busy though, so it's kind of cramped, but still pretty cool.